What's going on, Full Circle Fitness fans? Here we are again with another Fitness After 60 and senior video. Now today is going to be a special video where we're going to talk all about knee mobility. I want to do this video to show you guys out there how to increase knee mobility with 4 of my favorite exercises to do to help with that. Now you're thinking, why do I need to increase knee mobility? In the pain reduction fitness model that we do here at Full Circle Fitness, there's 5 different stages, and the first stage is the most important, which is mobility. If you're having any type of joint pain, you have to start with increasing the mobility in that joint first. Why? Because you want to work on increasing range of motion, you want to work on decreasing inflammation, you want to work on improving lubrication within that joint. You can't start any program that has deep pain with going right into lifting weights or going right into doing some strength exercises. You have to work on moving that joint around first, getting it used to that normal range of motion that it has, maybe been restricted for so long that you've lost that. Maybe some scar tissue has been built up. Maybe some of those connective tissues around that joint have tightened so much you can barely even move it. I can't tell you the number of people that I've talked to about this that have had a shoulder injury, for example, and can't even move their shoulder anymore because they haven't moved it for 2 years. How do you go from that to doing right to lifting weights? You can't. It's a systematic process, and that first stage is mobility, okay? So we're going to show you 4 exercises that you can do, some of my favorite, to increase your knee mobility, and then after you do these for 2 to 4 weeks, you're going to see a huge improvement on everyday pain, okay? Along with, it's going to help assisting and improving your posture. Not many people think about that, but when you have pain in one area, it can affect your whole gait. So if your knee is hurting, right, if you're not getting that proper mobility, you might be walking a little bit differently, maybe leaning away from it, which is affecting your hip and your QL and your lower back on that side. So increasing your knee mobility can help kinesthetically everywhere else in your body. You're going to be able to feel how your body feels in proper alignments. You're going to be improving your posture and your body awareness, which is the biggest thing in that mobility stage that I try to teach all my clients is when you're increasing your body awareness of where you're having pain, because some people feel pain and they don't feel it the way that other people do. Everybody's pain receptors are different. Some people think maybe just stiffness in the joints, but if you improve that area, you will improve your posture, which will improve kinesthetically everything else going up in there and how you move and how you feel. And you'll be able to feel what it feels like to be in proper alignment, which is definitely one of the big goals of doing these mobility movements. So we're going to get right into it. And I recommend, again, we're going to do this for 2 to 4 weeks. You're going to have 4 exercises. Each of them are going to be done for 1 minute apiece. Now, we're going to show you the whole thing one time. That's 1 round. I recommend on your own you do it 2 to 3 more rounds. So 2 to 3 times, 4 exercises, 1 minute on each, and then repeat this process every single day for the next 2 to 4 weeks, and you will definitely see an improvement on your knee pain, your knee inflammation, some of that stiffness going on there as well. So we're going to get right into it. Here is some of the equipment that you need for this exercise routine. You're going to need a gym mat. You're going to need a stability ball, okay? You're going to need a chair or a step, and you're going to need a stretching strap. Now, if you don't have a stretching strap at home, you can definitely just use a regular belt as well, okay? So we're going to get right into it. Exercise number 1 is going to be lying ball knee tucks. All right, so now that we're on the ground, we're going to start with that first exercise, the lying ball knee tucks. We're going to lie on our back. We're going to put our feet up on the ball. The reason I like this exercise so much for increasing that range of motion is because it takes a lot of stress off the knees and the hips and the lower back when you're using the ball to help support you with these. So let's go ahead and get started for 1 minute. Okay, we're on our back. We're going to tuck our knees in towards us as far as they go and then extend them all the way back out. My lower back is flat on the floor. My core is nice and tight. My toes are flexed towards me the whole time. Don't try and point them, all right? And so if you have any pain on this movement, like if you come in too much and you're having pain, then don't go that far, okay? So maybe come right to about here and back out. It can be little tiny movements at first, which is fine. And then what you'll notice is that connective tissue around that knee and that and the muscles themselves might start to loosen up, and then you can go full range, in and out. Okay, but try to do it for 1 minute. All right, we're almost there. We got about 10 seconds left. By the end of that minute, you're going to feel those knees loosen up quite a bit. Awesome. All right. Last thing to remember on that is don't let your knees hyperextend. So if I'm in this position and I'm pushing down, I can feel that hyperextension in the back of the knees. It's not good. So when you come all the way out, leave a slight bend at the knee and then bring it back in. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into exercise number 2. All right, so exercise number 2 is going to be using the stretching strap. You're going to be on the ground still, and you're going to take that strap and wrap it around your foot. Now, again, if you have a belt, you can loop it in there as well. This is going to be a lying knee extension with flexion, okay? So what you're trying to do here, and a lot of times people use towels too, I prefer this, is we're just going to be letting the knee bend and extend as we're holding it. So let's go ahead and get started. 1 minute. My head is down. I'm going to extend, or flex the knee, sorry, and then extend it. Notice how my other leg is bent a little bit. If you want to have a little bit deeper of a stretch and mobility, okay, you can straighten that leg. So remember, these are all moving exercises, okay? Check out some of our other videos for flexibility for the knee, but we're all working on mobility today. So these are moving exercises. Again, keeping that toe flexed towards me. We'll just make sure we keep this tension nice and tight in the strap, and we're extending, flexing and extending. And remember, if you can't straighten it all the way, if you can't get it all the way, that's fine. Just keep going through the movements, even if you're just little movements like this. You're working that joint, okay? You're getting things moving. Core's nice and tight, squeezing the quads, squeezing the hamstrings if you can, okay? Just little movements like this, or you can go full movements. And relax. Good job, okay? A little key more information on that. Just remember, you want to actively be squeezing the hamstrings and the quads while you're doing this, keeping that toe flexed back, extending and flexing for 1 minute. Perfect. Now let's get into the next exercise. All right, so the next exercise is going to be sitting down on that chair, and we're going to work on an active release motion, okay, where I'm using my thumbs down my tibula, okay, downward motion as I'm bringing my leg in, okay? So you want to sit on the edge of that chair and start with your legs extended with your toes flexed. What I mean by that before we get started is I'm actively trying to drag my thumbs down that leg, okay, down the tibia side, starting at the patella, which is right underneath that kneecap, and you're just downward motion as you're curling your legs in. What this does is helps relieve maybe some of that scar tissue or some of that connective tissue tightness that's been going on for years, okay? So again, we're going to start by curling it in and then pushing down for 1 minute. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to curl and drive those thumbs in and down, all right? And you can do the same pathway like a bunch of times. And then you can move different angles, okay? So I can start extended and then move downward, maybe on the inside of that leg, okay? And you want to actively, again, squeeze your hamstring, squeeze your quad while you're doing it, all right? Now, a lot of time for my seniors, if it's hard to kind of lean forward like this and drive those thumbs down, you can set your foot up on maybe another step or a stool while you're doing this, because that'll give you a little more, you don't have to bend forward as much. But if you can, on the edge, okay, and you're just driving it down. Again, keep going. Got about 5 more seconds. Just as you're curling it in, drive it down. Okay, let's do one more good one. Perfect. And so you want to do 1 minute on each leg with that, okay? So remember, curling in and driving your thumbs down, different angles. If you can't lean forward so much with the foot on the ground, you can put it up on another step or stool, all right? So let's go ahead and get into the last exercise on this. All right, so the last exercise in our knee mobility program today is going to be a box lunge with knee extension. So again, all these exercises, we're working on knee flexion and extension to help get that knee mobile. So this is probably one of my favorite ones to do with people that have knee pain, because if you do it on a platform or a step, and again, this is about 36 inches, so if you can find something like that at home, fantastic, right? You can have something a little bit lower if you don't have knee pain as bad and you just want to work on some range of motion, but definitely something probably this height or maybe a tiny bit lower, because the higher it is, the less stress you're going to put your body weight on your knee. All right, so what we're doing is we're keeping our core nice and tight, and I'm going to lunge forward, flexing that knee, and then I'm going to drop back and extend. Now you can see how my heel's on the edge, so you probably want to start with your foot a little bit more forward on this step. Flexion and then extension. Be very careful that you don't hyperextend that knee. And again, if it's a lot of pain at first, obviously take a step back, do the other exercises, then come back to this one. But if it's just a little bit of pain, kind of work your way into it, a little bit of range of motion, and then come back to the full. So we're going to go ahead and get started for 1 minute on this. Let's go ahead and have that foot up there and lunge forward and then extend back, flexing your toe. Watch how my ankle moves as I'm doing this. Extend, and then the feet come back towards me when I'm doing that extension. Squeezing the hamstring, squeezing the thigh. 1 and 2. Perfect. 1. And as you do this more and more, that joint will definitely start to loosen up. Keep going. And again, you're going to want to do this for 1 minute each leg. Maybe if you have knee pain on one side, you do that side a little bit more. We're about 10 seconds away. Almost there. Last one. And relax. Good job. Okay, so again, 1 minute each side on that one. So there you go. There's 4 knee mobility exercises, some of my favorite ones that I like to do either before an event. If I'm going to go out and maybe do a long run, I'll do that. Or if you're for people that are very active outdoors, it's great to do before and after your routines. If you're in the older FitAfter60 senior crowd watching this, then if you just have regular knee pain, do these every day for 2 to 4 weeks, and I promise you, you will see an improvement on your everyday pain. So again, please like and subscribe to these videos. We're pushing out new content all the time. Check out some of our other FitAfter60 and senior videos if you're interested. And please remember, be safe, be active, be healthy, and we'll see you soon.